Hello guys, time for another demo project with Laravel from our team. So we've created another demo project from a job description from Upwork. And this video will consist of three parts. First, the beginning of the project was generated with our QuickAdminPanel, so I can show you how to generate the core structure of the project with that. Then we added custom coding after QuickAdminPanel, so Laravel. This will be a lesson on Laravel, various things that were added to the code. And the third thing will be about Laravel Livewire. So we try to change one of the pages from a simple Laravel to Livewire. So step by step, first the description of the project. It's called School Bulletin Messaging System, but actually it is more like a mini blog. And the budget is really small, so I wouldn't really advise to even pitch for that, but here's the specification in a document. So there are posts divided into categories, and every post may have multiple categories. On the front end, it will be something like mobile app or mobile view with list of posts with filter by category. And then front-end users may add a post with these fields, so date start and date end when the post is active. So form like this should be present on the front end. And basically that's it. In the description there is no requirement for backend system for Adminpanel. But that's an interesting thing about our QuickAdminPanel. Our Adminpanel generator is not actually for Adminpanel only. Adminpanel comes only as a second thing. So we generate the core structure, database migrations models, all the Laravel structure, and then on top of that we generate CRUDs for Adminpanel. And now we also have user front-end model that duplicates all the CRUDs. So by using our QuickAdminPanel, I actually generate the structure for all of that and then move to front-end to be able to have this view. So this is a general overview. Now how to generate that in QuickAdminPanel. I go to my projects, let's start new projects, school blog for example, I create, and then what CRUDs do we need, what menu items, what objects. It's just post and category. So first we create CRUD menu item category, categories actually, like this. And the system suggests the fields from my previous CRUDs, but I don't want to use that. I want to show you how to add a field. So for category, we only need a name, which is required, and that's it. And then we need a post. So posts with belongs to many relationship to categories, and for that we create posts. Also some stuff suggested, but I refuse to take that. What do we need? Belongs to many relationship, and we have a special field for that. To category, or actually categories, and then we choose the model to relate to categories. So QuickAdminPanel will automatically generate belongs to many method in the model. Or actually I shouldn't have saved that because we need more fields, so let's edit that. So post, what do we need? Let's open the document again, and here are the fields. So title, description, let's add those. So text field, title required. Description should probably have a CKey editor, so text area, description, and then there is a checkbox, use CKey editor, probably required. Then date start and date end when the post is visible, so date picker, start date, let it be optional, end date, also optional. Also attachment needed, and IP address, which will be set automatically. So file attachment, optional, and then IP address as a text. Also optional, we save, and we save the CRUD. And at this point we have Adminpanel for those two objects. We will also add two modules from QuickAdminPanel, which will be user frontend, because that's what actually we need, and user frontend is here, we just install it, and then another registration. So by default Adminpanel comes with only login but without registration, and if we install registration there are a few more checkboxes, but we don't check it now. We install, and that is all what we need from QuickAdminPanel. After that we download the code and code locally from here. But I will click preview panel to show you what we have so far, and that's without writing any lines of code yet. It usually takes a minute or so to deploy, to run things like composer install, artisan migrate, all of that. So I will skip until it's done. Okay, it's deployed, so we continue and we see landing page. And if I register, for example, as a new user, like this, I see list of posts. For now, it's empty table, and we need to transform this table into actual view that the client wants. And also clean up so users won't be able to manage categories or delete posts or something like that. So we need only list of the posts and adding the post. And next I will show you the parts of the code that achieve exactly that. So this is the final result that I will show you in a minute how it looks in the code, with some seeded fake posts. And this is a view for unregistered user. And if I register, for example, I use Chrome extension fake filler to fill in the fields. And there is a posts menu item. And then if I'm logged in, I can add a post like this. And if we take a look at the home page again, you can click any category on top and the page is reloaded with categories as array. So you can click more categories or unclick some categories, so uncheck this one and probably that one should disappear. So with get parameters we're reloading the categories, and this will be exactly the thing that we will redo in Laravel Livewire a bit later in this video. But for now, for the first version, let's take a look at post controller for the front end. So it contained the table before and we changed it to this, and it loads post index blade with for each of the categories, and on change of any category, on click. It's a simple inline JavaScript, it's not really beautiful, but it works. It refreshes the whole page with new set of parameters get, and then shows all the posts. So nothing really fancy here, and at the end you can click read more, and if you have a permission to create a post, you can access that link. In the controller, there's quite an interesting eloquent function. So to get the posts, we get the selected categories, and when it's not empty, we use where has category, so eloquent relationship filter, with keys of those categories. And also we include the posts that don't have any category, which is kind of global thing. Also we're filtering by start date and end date, and ordering by start date. And here we have the list of categories. So that's for the front page. Next, if we scroll down a bit, the store of a new post happens by creating with request all plus IP address. So IP address is not in the form, and we create the post, then we assign, attach, sync the categories, and also a few things about attachments. You can take a look deeper how the attachments and file uploads work with our QuickAdminPanel. It's actually pretty weird to call that QuickAdminPanel while we're talking about the front end, but it's the same functionality actually. So you can add just general attachment, and everything you attach in CKey editor will be also processed. And under the hood we use a package called Spotty Media Library for file uploads. And that's it, nothing really more fancy here. And now let's dive into Laravel Livewire version. So we will change that page to avoid those ugly get parameters and avoid full page refresh. So on any change of category, the table of posts will reload automatically. First you need to install the Livewire, so compose require Livewire, and then make a component. In our case, PHP Artisan make Livewire posts, for example. And then inside of the index controller, index method of the controller, all you need to do is the front-end post index, load that, and if you get to that index, instead of the table we have Livewire component. So we have two new files, posts blade in resources views Livewire, and posts PHP in app HTTP Livewire. So what happens in the blade? It's almost the same category list, so for each of the categories, all those badges, with one change. At the end we have wire click method. So instead of that being the link to refresh the page, it will be a method in Livewire component called filter categories by category ID that was selected. And then everything else is just for each of the posts, so that nothing really changed in viewing the post. So we changed only the category selection. Now let's see the Livewire component, the backend, the controller as I call that. So controller has a few properties, so selected categories array and all categories array. First we load all the categories from the database. We do it only once for the page, we don't need to reload them anytime. So we do that in the mount, it's kind of like construct method of the Livewire component. And then render is the method that actually renders the blade. So in here we have the same eloquent statement to get the posts, but in here we filter by this selected categories. So we don't get them from get request or from request, it's this selected categories. By default it is empty, and this is the method that will refresh the categories. So remember in the blade we have wire click filter categories. So automatically this is called, and it changes the selected categories value. So this selected categories. And then automatically render method is called, refresh the data, and reload the blade. So this is how it works now. If we delete that URL, click, 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 unclick, and that filter works without any refresh, without any get parameters. So this is a pretty great example for Laravel Livewire. And that's it. The repository will be available on GitHub as usual. If you want to generate the backend for it, for example, you can use our QuickAdminPanel.com, or if you want to learn more about Livewire, there's a course on my Teachable specifically for Livewire for beginners. And see you guys in other videos.